Assalamu alaikum. You're watching NEWSROOM. I'm your host, Khalid. But today is the 28th of May 2021, and these are the stories that we will be talking about during the course of the show. We will begin, ladies and gentlemen, with the Indian blame game that has begun again. Nothing new as far as the Indian side is concerned. Always putting the blame on Pakistan as far as the firing that India in fact starts across the line of control is concerned. Now, the Foreign Office spokesperson Rafique Chaudhry has said that Pakistan has rejected the allegations of any cross-border infiltration by India, countering that it was instead New Delhi's brutalization of Kashmiri people that threatened regional peace. He was responding to comments made by the Indian External Affairs Minister, Mr. Shakir at Stanford University's Hoover Institution, in which he had claimed that firing incidents across the line of control had taken place because of infiltration from Pakistan. This is going to be our leading segment. Then we'll be talking about, ladies and gentlemen, of a huge development as far as the IT sector is concerned, where Facebook and Pakistani company Nayatel have joined hands in its first kind of investment in Pakistan. They are going to improve and expand connectivity across the country to pave way for a digital transformation inside of Pakistan. Now, this will offer internet access to around 15 million citizens across 8 cities of the country. We'll be talking to the CEO of Nayatel about what it means for the digital revolution in Pakistan and also entrepreneurship for Pakistani business owners. Then we'll be talking about a discovery that has been made by a professor at the LUMS University, Dr. Nauman Zafar, who has discovered a chip. In fact, he has made a chip that will go for the early detection of HIV and AIDS in patients, and of course it will go a long way in finding out whether a patient is infected or not with the HIV. And this is a small chip and the size of an ATM card, and it is going to revolutionize as far as the determination of HIV in patients in Pakistan is concerned. And finally, we'll be talking about the latest developments as far as the education sector and COVID-19 are concerned. The NCOC has now decided that the walk-in vaccination could be done by all the education sector staff that are of 18 years and above. We also know that the registration for 19 years old and above has started. All you need to do is send your texts to 1166. Also, the walk-in vaccination for citizens above 30 is to begin from tomorrow. This is also has been said by Asad Umar. At the same time, the Education Minister has said that the British Council has been allowed to hold special O-level exams in Pakistan in the month of July and August. Let's begin with our first segment, ladies and gentlemen, and that concerns the Indian allegations of course, infiltration by Pakistan across the line of control. Nothing new, more in the following package.
Indian designs against Pakistan are not hidden. India stands exposed before the world for undertaking sinister plans against Pakistan, using foreign countries as base. Pakistan today is a target of a dangerous campaign by India attempting to ignite the flames of terrorism and sectarianism, and several failed attempts to destabilize our economy. Pakistan not only thwarted such attacks but also exposed India behind terrorism in Pakistan. In its latest move, India has now alleged Pakistan of cross-border infiltration. Indian External Affairs Minister Subramaniam Jaishankar at Stanford University's Hoover Institution claimed that firing incidents across the line of control had taken place because of infiltration by Pakistan. Pakistan categorically rejected the allegations of any cross-border infiltration by India, countering instead that it was New Delhi's brutalization of Kashmiri people that threatened regional peace. The ceasefire agreement between the Directors General of Military Operations of the two countries to not fire at each other across the LOC was termed as good step by both sides, but even then Pakistan had seen a lot of firing from Indian side. Kashmir is the core outstanding issue between Pakistan and India since 1947, which awaited settlement as per international legitimacy. Indians' illegal and unilateral action of August 5, 2019 in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir were against international law and manifestly anti-peace. Meaningful and result-oriented engagement for resolution of the Jammu and Kashmir dispute as well as any other issues is what India should be focusing on instead of raising baseless allegations on Pakistan. India.
Now, to talk more about these allegations that, of course, are nothing new from the Indian side, we've been joined by Dr. Asma Shakir Khawaja. She's a foreign affairs expert. Thank you very much, Dr. Saiba, and a pleasure to have you on our show. Dr. Saiba, why does India resort to such allegations, such baseless allegations? It is not the first time, and it certainly won't be the last time. When Pakistan, on its end, is putting out the olive branch and wants peace in the region, what does India want exactly?
Study the patterns of Indian foreign and defense policy and India's approach towards the region and the other regional states. Whenever India faces a crisis on domestic front in internal politics, Modi has this trend, or as a matter of fact, it's the policy that in order to divert public attentions from the genuine issues, they raise such non-issues or they raise such issues to inculcate fears and insecurity among their own public, so that they cannot question about the mess the government has created on domestic front. And here I am referring to the poor COVID-19 response policy of Modi government. So I think that Modi government wants to achieve various objectives through this baseless allegation. Number one, that they want to divert the attention of public from the real issues to such fears and perceptions and insecurities, and then they want to project themselves as the Modi government wants to project itself as the savior, as the protectors of India, and they want public to perceive Indian government as their guardian, as someone who can guard them from the external threat. But the biggest question is that if that specific government is unable to address and cope with the internal threats such as the pandemic COVID-19, how they are eligible or capable to protect themselves.
This is what I don't understand, Dr. Saiba. You
threat.
yourself say, how can they be eligible to talk such jargon? But at the same time, a lot of people in the West are accepting whatever India is saying. Why is that so, despite the fact that the West understands what India's foreign policy is vis-a-vis Pakistan?
That is why, see, India is drifting. It is the beginning of the drifting from its secular image and image of the biggest, largest democracy of the world for last few years. So those who are standing by India, they are not standing by India because maybe they believe in the human rights, but because they believe in the capitalism and economic benefits and economic interests. So definitely we have to understand that India has this status in international politics of being a large financial economic market, investment opportunity, and other such images which were created by during last 73 years. So people and the leadership I would say because of the lack of informed decision making, those leaders are hijacked by this image of India, which is thanks to Modi, which is now India is not that
this
India.
This image of India, Dr. Saiba, is it also a direct or indirect perception of what the US wants, because of course of the strengthening ties between the United States and India, and the fact that it wants to counter China one way or the other, and India is the perfect pawn for the United States to counter a great country and a great power such as China?
Yeah, see, we cannot address the dilemmas which are in the heads and in the mindset. And if US government still believes that India can be of any use vis-a-vis China to safeguard US interests in the region, I think they need to revisit this policy or this illusion, or I would say this misperception. Why? Because we have this Gulhan incident. We have seen that how India bent its knees in front of China when it comes to Gulhan and other on diplomatic and in battleground. So, and then when we see the bilateral economic relations between China and India, they are massive, and both China and India have this relationship of economic interdependency, which is one of the biggest reasons that they would they avoid physical confrontation or coercive confrontation practically. So US
All right.
has to rationalize, I would say, its one number one policy of the confrontation with China, and then the prospective role of India in
All
that
right, Dr.
policy.
Sabha, the
And I would like to
rationalization
mention.
or the lack thereof from the Indian side brings me to a very interesting aspect of it all. These allegations that are emanating now from the Indian side. The FATF decision is also pending. You know, it's about to come in the next few weeks as well. Is it also not a ploy by India to redirect the FATF one way or the other, so that Pakistan continues to be embroiled with the FATF as far as its grey list is concerned?
Yes, definitely. Why not? We have seen that Modi's policies are multi-layers and multi-objectives. That whichever objective is achieved, that could be presented to the Indian people as a trophy. So why not? Modi can plan this, but see, we have to see that why Pakistan would do that. If Pakistan is, as you yourself said, extending the olive branch to Indian government, then why? And we have our people at Hum of Affairs, our leadership, our political leadership, our military leadership, everyone has expressed their desire to forge peaceful ties through peaceful conflict resolution with India. So what is the need that Pakistan would support any such border infiltration at this point of time? And here I would like to mention that it is Pakistan which has presented this offer to India, which has offered India that in order to stop the illegal infiltration on the LOC, we can use technology, we can use sensors, we can use this modern techniques to safeguard the LOC and make sure that there is no such infiltration. But it is India which refused this. So
All
it
right.
is
Now,
so
when we
so
speak of
one who is
infiltration, Dr.
running away
Saiba,
from the
there is not only the
technological
infiltration from
use.
the line of control from the Indian side, and there have been the various accounts of that, and Pakistan has said that time and again to India, despite the recent thaw in these infiltrations by India in the last few weeks, there is still that tension that emanates from the Indian side, and proof of that is what has been said by Mr. Jaishankar. But at the same time, there is also this concern about militarization of space and artificial intelligence by India. What do you have to say about that? Is India not trying to corner Pakistan, A, through the line of control, B, from the space?
Number one, India is unable to corner Pakistan for last 73 years, despite having this desire to corner Pakistan diplomatically, politically, or and in the region. So I don't think so. That even at this time, if they want or intend to corner Pakistan, that would be a successful effort, because India itself is being cornered because of the policy of radicalism of Modi, and because of this policy of radicalism, India's acceptance in international community or international civilized world order is reducing every day, even if it's a slow and gradual process. But I always say that revolution is not the solution but the evolution. So India is evolving as an authoritarian state, which is a big dent
When you
on
talk of
the
evolution, I
limits of
totally
freedom
get you
of
when you
India.
say it's that India is evolving as an authoritarian state. But at the same time, where does that leave Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir? Where does that leave the minorities of India? Where does that leave all the other issues that is plaguing India, including the economic turmoil and the COVID-19 situation that has been so badly handled by India?
Yes, Umar, this is one of the biggest flaws of international law, that international law becomes effective when damage has been done. So practically it is the duty or it is the responsibility of Indian public to use the power of vote in order to safeguard not only the future of India but the future of region. But the problem is that Modi has very effectively propagated violence, war, hatred against Pakistan and Muslims and other minorities as an election winning slogans. So now, and here I would like to mention that Hitler was also acceptable until or unless he committed the genocide or he committed the
You remember he
Holocaust.
was
So
nominated
we
for a
have to
Nobel Prize
understand
at one
that
time.
Right now, Indian public is standing by Modi, and even sadly, even despite this disgrace of humanity, which we have seen, which we are seeing every day in India, and COVID-19 response policy of Modi, even despite that, I wonder that Indian public, and this is international law, and there is a right to intervention. So, international community practically they can condemn it, they can suggest other options or possibilities, but no one can intervene in the internal
Exactly. I
affairs
mean,
of
the
India.
damage has been done, and I totally get that, Dr. Sahiba, and I really hope that the international community really now understands what is right and what is wrong and stands by what is right. I mean, it is high time, whether it be the Palestinian situation or the situation in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, or the false allegations that India is continuously putting as far as Pakistan is concerned. Thank you very much, Dr. Sahiba, to have joined us and to have talked to us about a very important issue, that is these allegations that I have been continuing not since now, but since so many years, and there needs to be a stop to it now. We'll be back with our second segment after a short break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. In our second segment, we're going to talk about a very interesting development as far as the digital revolution in Pakistan is concerned. Now, Facebook and Nayatel are teaming up for a fiber network in Pakistan, which is going to give access to around 15 million citizens around 8 cities to internet, and of course, high bandwidth internet. How important is internet for citizens of the country in this day and age? What is a digital revolution, and how does it help entrepreneurship in Pakistan? We've been joined to talk about this and more by the CEO and the co-founder of Nayatel, Mr. Wahaj Us. Wahaj Us, thank you very much to have joined us.
Thank you.
Wahaj Us, first of all, who started this idea of teaming up with Facebook?
Actually, we were approached by Facebook.
All right.
So and Facebook was working on this idea about 2 years back, and then I think they were studying the market. They were studying the local operators who are here in the fiber and broadband business, and then they approached us, and then they shared the idea with us, discussed with us, and then it went to the next stage. And they were discussing, I believe they were discussing with the other operators as well, but finally they thought that the Nayatel is the right partner for them.
All right. Now, moving forward, how long do you feel this is going to take, this partnership or this whole laying up of the fiber optic for 15 million people to gain access in 8 cities of Pakistan?
Yeah, this will take 2 years. The concept behind this is very different. Because this fiber would serve as a backbone for the mobile broadband. Because today, say when you're using a cell phone, you are connected with a tower. And then so many, say thousands of subscribers, they are connected with single tower, and then that single tower goes to the main exchange. And those links are wireless link at present right now. Because of the 4G and upcoming 5G, the bandwidth is exploding. So bandwidth is increasing at a very high rate, and the wireless link from the tower to the exchange, they have a limited capacity, so they can't take higher bandwidth. So this project, this fiber is to basically replace that wireless with the fiber so that it can carry gigabits of traffic within, say, milliseconds.
Especially for 5G, I mean.
Yes. So this is the concept, because in world and even emerging markets like Thailand and other countries, the fiber to the tower penetration is more than 80-90%. In Pakistan, it is less than 5%.
And why is that so?
Why? There are multiple issues. High cost, number one. High cost of right of way, the regulatory hurdles, and so many issues. So they cope up. So this idea is a kind of a shared network which will be used by multiple operators. So if the one operator will not pay the whole cost of the fiber, and that cost will be divided into say 3 or 4 operators, so the cost per operator is less. So the operators are incentivized to go for fiber, and we are able to make some money out of that as well.
All right. How important is it for Pakistan's digital ecosystem, a project like this?
I think very important, because internet is a basic necessity. I mean, so people now, the kids at home and the parents at home while they are studying in pandemic and the lockdowns. So they say, if my home is not having electricity, that is fine. But if internet is coming, I can't work. So internet is connecting students with the teachers.
It has become a necessity.
It has actually become more than a necessity. It has become as important a necessity as, I would say, water. It is a lifeline. So, and people need high quality. People need video. People need real-time talking on internet.
In the online classes that are going on.
Online classes, online learning, work from home, telemedicine, connecting patients with the doctors sitting at the hospital or in the clinic or at home. So this has become so important. The quality of the internet has become very important. The quality, the speed. Without high speed quality, the society cannot function actually.
How do you see Pakistan's digital transformation, because you've been part of it?
Yeah, I think we have came a long way. And even if we compare ourselves with the region, we are doing, I would say, very good.
All right.
But I think we need to move fast. We need to move fast. The operators, they need to provide great service. They need to innovate. They need to create new markets. They need to go into the areas which have not been explored so far. This one, the government, instead of tightening control, they need to act as an enabler. They need to become a real facilitator.
All right.
And making the policy which are predictable, which are long term, and which is which is helping the growth. And then the growth happens, then of course government can tax, because government also needs money for taxes.
Of course.
But even if the businesses are not earning money, from where they will pay taxes?
That is true. Which brings me to a very important topic, that is ease of doing business. That is something that our Prime Minister has been talking about on and off as well. You are the CEO of a very important company that is bringing on this digital revolution in Pakistan. What issues do you face as far as the ease of doing business in a country like Pakistan is concerned?
I think there are many hurdles, but you know, for the entrepreneur, it is said when there are more difficulties, then there are more opportunities as well. So we have to create more opportunities out of difficulties. But in difficulties, we have to face with dozens of the government departments. This permit, that NOC, that license, this and that fee, whatever. And then on top of that, there is no incentive for a business which is legally compliant. Say, we are social security compliant, we are EOBI compliant, we are minimum wage compliant, we are labor law compliant, we are PTA compliant, we are PEMRA compliant, we paying all taxes, but then we don't get any, it is very hard to even get sometimes the legitimate right. And then sometimes we have to fight. The courts are not making decisions, and so many things. The government departments, they have a mindset, and some of them have a, I would say, anti-business mindset.
All right. So of course, this is a state television platform, and your voice is going to all the important ministries as we speak. When we talk of entrepreneurship, how important is the future of entrepreneurship, because you belong to one such company, and in a country like Pakistan, and how do you see the youth of Pakistan getting themselves involved in it?
I think entrepreneurship in Pakistan has a great future, inshallah, because we are very talented youth. We have great graduates coming out of the universities. Number one, they are passionate. They have the cutting edge knowledge. They have the aspirations, because they are connected with the world. They know what's happening in the US. They know what's happening in Europe. They know what's happening in neighboring India. So they have a very high expectation.
True.
Now, it is the job of the businesses and the senior mentors to give them an environment where they can use their potential up to the fully extent. We have to provide them a very enabling environment. And believe me, they can create great businesses starting from one people. If people like me, you know, we are very ordinary guys, you know, I would say bad students. If we can create a business from 2 people to 1900 people, So why can't the graduates of today who are super smart guys and passionate, so they can create more better businesses than actually we have created?
That is true. I'll say something that you quoted somewhere, and you said that Facebook and Nayatel will enable more open access fiber infrastructure, and you said that a progressive and collaborative regulatory environment will help to attract further investments to improve internet connectivity in Pakistan.
Yes.
This brings me back to ease of doing business.
Yes.
If there's a proper procedure, as you said, that there are certain issues with your company that pays all the taxes and is compliant with all the different procedures. And then this, if certain procedures put forward, then this will bring even more investment into Pakistan.
Yes. I mean, this investment, this is the first American company after 8 years which is bringing hard investment in Pakistan. So because and most of them, they shy away because when they see the regulation, when they see the rules, they see inconsistencies.
All right.
So they see a reactive approach. They don't see a proactive approach, and they don't see a long-term predictable policy and regulation. So until unless that isn't in place, investors don't get confidence. They take money to Bangladesh, they take money to India. So and this has been happening in the IT sector.
All right.
I mean, because Google is there, Facebook is there, all the big giants is there.
And they need to come to Pakistan as well.
Yeah, Pakistan, they will come when we create such environment. So when we let them grow, when we let them work. So we have to earn their confidence, and it will provide a lot more opportunities for the Pakistani guys to learn new skills, to go global.
Or when you talk of new skills, what kind of future do you see as far as a digital Pakistan is concerned? What are you foreseeing in the next year or couple of years?
I think there are so many new skills that our graduates need to learn. I mean, because universities actually, of course, can't teach very new cutting-edge skill, but now most of the skills and the courses are available online, and this is what actually I tell to the youth. Don't depend on somebody. Don't depend somebody to put a spoon in your mouth. No one is going to do that. It is knowledge is available. It is available online. Online, I mean, content is available. It is free. Go and take classes online and learn something. What are the new programming languages? Where the world is going? What these skills are for the next 1 year, 2 years? Everything is available. Just go, spend 1 month, 2 months, learn it, and do freelancing. Earn $3,000 a month, And there are thousands of guys in Pakistan today sitting at home using a broadband connection and doing freelancing and earning 200 to 300,000 rupees a month, and no taxes because it is a remittance coming to them through the State Bank of Pakistan. So that is a great for them, for their families, and then they are interacting with the global market. They are also learning new skills. So a whole world of opportunities is now opening up.
All right. When you talk of a whole world opportunity that is opening up, it's very important, pertinent that a common man who has the passion to do something for himself, for the society in the digital era, also has the, the access in a very easy manner to digital content. And for that, we need to have internet at a very low cost. Do you feel that the government and the public and the private sector could work together to enable a common man who is in a village but who is passionate and determined to do something and open up a company maybe digitally, could get access to high bandwidth internet?
Yes, they can. But the taxes of the internet are the highest in Pakistan.
All right.
33% tax on the internet. That is mind-boggling. It could be 17%, 18%, and there is a 12.5% advance income tax, and this being taken from the people whose yearly taxable income is lesser than the limit, 600,000. So, and they are paying taxes, and they can't get a claim of that. So, these are the things actually which restrict the growth. Let people earn. Let people make money. So I mean, don't tax the blood of the people. I mean, tax the output of a person who is doing. So let them make money and then let them make more money and then tax a small amount. This is happening. So, and then with the 32% taxes. And then that becomes the price goes higher. So this is a dilemma which is happening.
But nevertheless, the 4G and the upcoming 5G, I mean the 4G as far as Pakistan is concerned, the prices of 4G are quite competitive as far as other countries in the region are concerned. Because even across the border in India, the prices for a good 4G connection are quite high compared to the prices in Pakistan. Do you feel Pakistan can continue moving in this direction when even 5G comes into place?
Yeah, Pakistan will improve. I mean, with the 5G, people will get more speed. The government going to auction the new spectrum. The operators will have a new spectrum, and they will have more bandwidth. They will be able to supply even 50 meg on your handset.
All right.
100 meg on your handset.
Wonderful. So you're optimistic, finally, you're optimistic about Pakistan's digital future.
Yeah, inshallah, why not?
All right. Thank you very much, Wahaj Us, CEO and co-founder of Nayatel, to come to the studios and to talk to us in a very candid manner. And of course, you have viewed your grievances as well. And of course, the grievances have gone to the necessary quarters. Let's go to our next segment, ladies and gentlemen, and that concerns a chip that has been developed by an associate professor at LUMS to detect HIV and AIDS at a very early stage. More in the following report.
HIV is recognized as a health concern in Pakistan with the number of cases growing. HIV infection can lead to AIDS that may become a major health issue. The United Nations and government estimated the number of HIV/AIDS cases around 97,000, ranging from the lowest estimate of 46,000 to the highest estimate of 210,000. National AIDS Control Program was established in 1986 with a focus on diagnosis of cases that came to hospitals, but progressively began to shift towards a community focus. Pakistan is the second largest country in South Asia that stands only a few steps behind India and Nepal in terms of HIV epidemic. The overall prevalence and incidence of the disease in Pakistan seem low, since this is a disease which prevails more among high-risk groups and their contacts. The prevalence of HIV was found very high in 2017 among injectable drug users. Overall, the numbers in Pakistan are concentrated in Punjab at 50% and Sindh at 43%. Responding to the looming threat of HIV and to cut off the external dependence, Pakistan is on its way to invent a chip that can help in early diagnosis of the disease. With the help of Higher Education Commission, Dr. Nauman and his team from LUMS University have made portable chip for the testing of HIV/AIDS in Pakistan on a local level. With this latest invention, it would be possible to know about the disease at its early stage before it's too late. HIV is
Now, to talk more about this portable chip, we've been joined by the person himself who developed it, Dr. Nauman Zafar, who's an associate professor at the LUMS University. Dr. Saab, thank you very much to have joined us. Dr. Saab, the first thing that comes to my mind is, where and how did you develop this idea of making this chip?
So, the medical testing globally is moving towards more and more portable devices. As you can see that people can check their glucose level at their home with the very convenient glucose test kits. So on these lines, there are more and more devices that are being developed globally to detect a lot of different diseases. For example, for COVID-19, you see that now that home available test kits are becoming more and more available. So with this idea in mind, we looked at this particular HIV/AIDS diagnostics, and we developed this with the help of HEC TDF Development Fund. And the idea is not specific to HIV. The technology that we have developed is applicable to a lot of different types of diseases, and in future we have a plan to develop more test kits, for example, for COVID-19 and other infectious diseases.
Dr. Saab, how long did it take you to develop this chip?
I'm sorry, can you please repeat your question?
How long did it take you to develop this portable chip, Dr. Saab?
How long did it take us to develop the chip?
Yes, Dr. Saab.
Yeah, so so we have been working on this idea for maybe last 4 and 5 years, and initially we were looking at it from the design perspective, and then we applied for this grant that HEC has launched in the name of Technology Development Fund, and we got some funding to purchase some essential equipment and consumables that were required to make a prototype. So in the last 2 or 3 years, we worked very hard to demonstrate a fully fabricated device at our lab in LUMS, which was indigenously developed from scratch.
All right. Dr. Saab, you've developed this portable chip now. How long will it take before it becomes openly and commercially available in the market?
Yeah. So the next step for us is to demonstrate the reliability and the accuracy of the device. For this, we have we are collaborating with the Shaukat Khanum Hospital, and we are working with them for the clinical trials of this device. And once we fully demonstrate that the results of this device are accurate, then we will be able to go towards the commercialization phase, and the commercialization phase will start as soon as we demonstrate the clinical reliability of the device, which is undergoing right now.
All right, wonderful, and we look forward to many good developments from your and of course your associates, Dr. Nauman, and congratulations again to have developed this portable chip as far as the early detection of HIV and AIDS is concerned. And as you said, we'll be looking forward to such chips for other detection of other diseases as well in the future from your team. So looking forward to that, and all the very best, Dr. Saab.
Thank you very much.
And let's come to our last segment, of course, that concerns the latest updates as far as COVID-19 is concerned. Now, the NCOC, in its very recent meeting, has decided upon certain things, which include that now the educational sector, which includes people of 18 years and above, can now walk in to any vaccination center along with their CNIC and a valid letter from the relevant institutions and get themselves vaccinated against COVID-19. Now, that is a very important development in the whole scenario of the education institutions that are opening and will be opening in the time to come. And if people are properly vaccinated, of course, this will help prevent the outbreak or further spread of the disease. At the same time, walk-in vaccination for citizens above the age of 30 will also begin from tomorrow. This has been said by Asad Umar Saab in a tweet. At the same time, also the education sectors, because I was talking about the education sector, the O-level exams, special O-level exams will be held in Pakistan in the month of July and August. For that, the British Council has been given the authorization to hold these special O-level examinations in the coming months of July and August. So these are very important decisions that have been taken. And of course, as you very well know, that the registration for people of 19 years and above as far as getting themselves vaccinated has already begun. All you need to do is send your CNIC number without the hyphens to 1166. You will get a response, and of course the name of the website where you need to log in with a certain code that they will send you. If you want to change your vaccination center, you can do that as well and get yourselves vaccinated at the earliest. It's very important and pertinent that if we want to open our educational institutions in the future, all of them, we need to have a generation that is COVID-free, that is properly vaccinated from the COVID-19. And of course, our Pakistani vaccine has now also come in the market, and that will give a further boost as far as the vaccination process to the Pakistani citizens is concerned. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we come to an end of today's newsroom. It's the weekend. We wish you a great weekend, but nevertheless, do carry on following the standard operating procedures, whether you are vaccinated or not. And we'll see you, inshallah, on Monday with new stories that matter to you, to us, and to Pakistan. Stay safe. Allah Hafiz.